It's the beginning of the weekend here in our Transformer world. We got a few things to talk about today on the Transformer Slag podcast. First thing we're going to jump into is we got our very first look of the second wave of the Masters of the Universe X Transformers collaboration. This is a Mattel exclusive line, not a Hasbro designed one, of the He-Man Transformer crossover stuff we've been talking about. It seems that the Target Fall Geek Out reveals that we've been getting every Friday didn't end with Transformers, just with last week. We got some more stuff here. We got our first wave of the Megatron Armor Skeletor and the Bumblebee Armor Man of Arms back in SDCC. That was revealed to us. And when we got that, there was a little bit of a teaser in the mini comic that was included of what potentially a Wave 2 will be. And we got that Wave 2 revealed to us today, along with pre-orders dropping on Target's website, as well as Mattel Creations' website, of the Optimus Prime Armor He-Man and the Starscream Armor Scareglow. So like I said, we had a feeling these guys were coming because they were teased in the mini comic that came with the first wave Skeletor, Megatron, Man of Arms, Bumblebee. And we were like, okay, I guess that's going to be the next pair. And the Optimus Prime Armor He-Man looks really good. Like, really, really good. I didn't expect it to come out that well. Comes with his iconic sword that has a matrix of leadership in the hilt, giving that Prima Starsaber vibe, which is a nice little nod there. Also comes with an Energon shield, which looks like his original shield that his Masters of the Universe figure had, but with a little bit of a Transformers flair. Also comes with what his original axe was like, but now it's Optimus Prime's iconic Energon axe, and goes in the extra layer because you could hold it in his hand, or you could give him the treatment of removing his arm, or not his arm, his hand, and then you could plug it into his wrist like Optimus Prime will have his Energon axe. So that's a really nice touch there. He also has a removable battle mask faceplate, so you could home in like the Optimus Prime look or have more of the He-Man look. I dig a lot that's going on here. This is a really good one. Next up, we got the Starscream Armor Scareglow, based on, of course, Scareglow, the character from He-Man. So Starscream's going to feature that glow-in-the-dark kind of plastic that the original Scareglow has, with all those little Starscream bits put all over it. Now, this one here is going for a much more King Starscream kind of look. The comic, when we first saw it, really presented him as just kind of a vanilla kind of Starscream. But this one does have the King Starscream look, comes with the cape, comes with the crown. Those are removable, so you could still kind of have a regular-looking Starscream. But the King Starscream shoulder pads are kind of sculpted into the arm, so not much we could do really with that. So you can't really make completely a vanilla G1 Starscream if you want to. He has his null rays. They attach on his side. They also have little plug ports that could be used as blasters if you want him to hold it in his hand. Or you hold the hilts the barrels, of the null rays. And they also double as little axe weapons because now the wings kind of are sculpted to shape like little axes. So that's a nice little touch too of the Generation 1 character infused into that. And like I said, on top of that, the plastic is glow-in-the-dark plastic. So he's like the original He-Man toy also with that gimmick. Both of these are up for pre-order right now and are $29.99 and are planned to ship out January 7th, 2026 next year. Again, the He-Man's really cool. I dig it a lot. I feel like, some of the other characters seem like odd matches. I mean, I get it. Skeletor has to be with Megatron. Big Bad with Big Bad. That makes sense. But like the Man of Arms with Bumblebee, I don't know, odd choice. That modern image of what we have now, of Bumblebee being this like amazing warrior, just is such a stark contrast of what he was for so long in the 80s and in the 90s. I personally feel if you have to like put Bumblebee with like a higher tier He-Man character, put him with Orko or something. It kind of makes more sense in my opinion. And save Man at Arms for like Prowl, Jazz, Ironhide later. But I get it. Top tier characters with top tier characters, even if it doesn't make sense. I mean, when you really think about it, like He-Man has a character called Buzz-Off. That's a good guy. Could have just done Bumblebee with that at some point, but that makes too much sense. Modern Mattel rarely has a grasp of the He-Man brand, in all honesty. I doubt they would understand Transformers, but I get it. I get it. You have to really go with some surface level stuff for the sales. So it is what it is. But again, I think the He-Man itself is really cool. So that's definitely going to be a purchase from me. Next up, we have the Transformers Missing Link RC is starting to ship out and arrive in some people's homes, especially some Japanese collectors. And we're getting, for right now, our very first look of the final box design for Missing Link RC and what would have been, when you really think about it, if that original prototype colored figure was a legit 1986 item. So very, very cool. Just imagine all those years ago, if we had RC on the shelf, go back in time, put that Missing Link one, mess with people's minds. I dig it's very cool. I can't wait for mine to show up in the mail. Very awesome stuff. Love Missing Link and everything they're doing. So that's really awesome to finally see that, as well as the trading card and all the other stuff included. And the last thing we're going to talk about today is Hasbro Pulse has launched the voting for the Transformers Hall of Fame for 2025. It's an annual voting that goes with, what are the best figures of certain categories? We vote for it, and then it's announced later on a following live stream. Oddly absent this time around is the fourth wild card category. Normally we get, like I said, 3 categories, like, it's the best of Legacy. Then we get another category, the best of Studio Series. Then we get another category, the best of the exclusives. And then we'd always get a wild card 4th category. Like last year it was, who is your favorite of the original 13? And then in 2023 it was like, who's your favorite RID 2001 character? Skybite won that one. In 2022 it was, who's your favorite animated character? Lugnut won that one. And in 2021, who was your favorite Beast Wars Season 1 character? I could go on and on. So they always had like a wild card category. I find it very bizarre that they didn't put one this time. They could have just done something for fun. Who is your favorite character in Transformers 1? Could have done something like that. So interesting that they didn't do it this time around. Maybe they had their reasons. Maybe the move to Boston is kind of complicating things. So we'll see what happens with that. We have no announcement of the human inductee yet, but that's usually saved for the actual live stream itself. During that live stream, they do the big announcement of the actual human inductee. Last year, the long-time, 20-year-plus Transformers box art designer, Marcello Materi, was inducted to the Hall of Fame, and that was awesome for him. So we will see who it'll be this year. Stay tuned. It'll be on the next live stream. But what do we got here to vote for this time? So of the 3 categories, we have the best Age of the Primes toy of the year, and you got deluxes there like Solus. You got, let me grab a random one here. We got like a Voyager like Red Alert from Armada, a leader like, the G2 Grimlock, I guess. And then, of course, the Commander Silverbolt, the Titan Star Optimus Prime Star Convoy. With the Studio Series voting this year, we have stuff like a deluxe, Dark of the Moon Hatchet. Let's go with that. For Voyagers, we could pick any of your Constructicons, or maybe let's go with Transformers 1 Sentinel Prime. That's a really good one. With leaders, you got stuff like the Age of Extinction Prime, or the Studio Series 86 Megatron that a lot of people are excited about. And then the Commander is the lone 86 2-pack of Long Haul and Hook. Kind of weird if that one will win, considering it's more about the bigger item. And then you have the exclusive of the year. This is a whole bunch of stuff across different category, all the different collaboratives, be it the NFL, the Hot Wheels stuff, which really isn't out yet. Is that stuff out yet? I haven't seen that in stores yet, but Hot Wheels is on there, the Star Wars stuff, the Naruto stuff, the Sonic the Hedgehog stuff. We have the Heart of Steel crossovers. We have the Void Rival stuff. We have the Wreck and Doom stuff. There's a lot of great stuff on there. The retro card back stuff is on there. Some of the store exclusive stuff. A lot to choose from that category. So that's going to be a tough one to decide what will be the one for me. But again, clearly it's not every figure from 2025. That's why here on the Transformer Slag podcast, we usually save our top 5 Transformers of the year for literally the last week of that year, so we could really maximize the voting for the fans who are part of it, because we also involve the fan with our voting, as well as us. Normally we do it around, we do the voting around early December, and then we do the announcement of the winners December 26th to the 28th, usually that very last week of the year. So stay tuned for that. We'll have our own voting and everything like that, because let's be honest, there's still a solid 3 months left of stuff still to come out and for people to mess with. Anyways, the voting is live now. I'll post the voting link for Hasbro's Hall of Fame in the segment of today's description. You could just click that and do your voting. The voting closes October 6, 2025 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And again, we'll get the announcement of all the winners and everything on the following live stream that Hasbro will do. We don't have a date for that yet, but stay tuned for that one. Hopefully, maybe they'll get to sneak it in before their big move to Boston. We will see. That's it today, more or less, for the Transformer Slag podcast. Tomorrow we have the Transformer Slag podcast Saturday night live stream. So be sure to tune in for that Saturday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. And we'll talk about Transformers, take some super chats from the fans and then some, and update the news if anything has changed and everything like that. Thanks again for listening to the Transformer Slag podcast and keeping you educated, entertained, and informed on everything going on in your beautiful robot world. And I'll talk to you in the near future.